If you'd asked me where it began, and nobody has, I'd have to say it began at the airports. No longer was it enough to have a boarding pass or your ticket. You also had to have a driver's license or your passport, even if you were a U.S. citizen. And we thought, well, it's a little inconvenient, but, it's for safety's sake. It was after the attack, and, who knew? Who among us could look innocent, and maybe they weren't innocent. Maybe they were trying to destroy us. So, yeah, I had to show my driver's license, no big deal. But then, um, then you couldn't take shampoo bottle or anything that was more than 3 ounces because maybe there was some sort of materials to make a bomb in it. So we said, well, that seems a little ridiculous, but all right, what. Then you had to carry everything in a plastic see-through bag so they could see what was in it, which if you didn't have, they kept bags there. But of course that meant if you'd been on a long line for 20 minutes, you had to go back and get on the end of that line. And then, it was your shoes, because somebody once tried to take a bomb in their shoes on. So, those of us who could walk and were in good health, well, we wore flip-flops or something we could slip out of easily. And then there were full body scans, and we said, well, this is like getting a little ridiculous. I mean, can't you just look at me and see? Can't you see I have my paperwork? And then there was a sign that said, don't make any jokes. This is not funny. And that's when I got scared. Because the hallmark of a fascist regime is no humor. And I went, we're in deep, deep shit. But I still had to fly, and so, I put up with being patted down because I wore a belt that had a buckle on it. Another time I was wearing a full skirt. And even though I'm an older woman, over 65, I had to be patted down. People in wheelchairs, babies. Well, some people say, we have nothing to hide. No, I have nothing to hide. I'm not breaking any laws. If they want to inspect me, that's fine with me. And some of us said, this is ridiculous. There's got to be a better way. So many of us are losing our freedoms. Thousands, millions of us are losing our freedoms because maybe there is one dangerous person among us. Maybe. And then we read reports that they were slipping through anyway. People were, they did tests where, I don't know what they're called, dummies. People were testing it. They would carry a gun through to see if it got caught. And it didn't get caught. So here we had all that stuff. But what it really, really did, and I knew this, and it's why I stopped flying 10 years ago. I don't care if I can't drive there, I'm not going, which limits me, right? What it really did was get us used to the idea that it was okay to do ridiculous things or things that lack common sense because it was for our own good, because it was for safety, and because we were always in danger. Always in danger. And America had to be protected. Always. And look where we are now. And look where we are now. Not a good place. A very dangerous place. More and more freedoms being lost. And frankly, I tell people who can do it, and mostly it's people over 65, get out of the country while you still can. Because now they're putting up cameras at borders that do face recognition. They're putting them up at the borders like when you're leaving the country. And what scares me about that is one day they may decide that for safety's sake, you can't leave the country. And if that sounds paranoid, I suggest you take a look at the news for the last couple of weeks and see if it couldn't happen. Let's hope it doesn't happen. But one of the other hallmarks besides the lack of sense of humor is a feeling of helplessness among the citizens. And what do I read more and more in all the comments in the newspapers and on Facebook is, I feel so helpless. Because you are. Because you are. And that is a tyranny. Because people who live in a free country don't feel helpless. So I say, I truly hope that people are able to, the people who are making the laws and who are flouting the laws start doing their job. But I don't have enough hope to go back. So I stay. And I will go further and further away until I know it is finally safe to return to the United States of America. I love you.